Welcome to Lesson 2, where I will show you how to set up as well as build beautiful volume fans. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about putting the lashes on your hand. This is how I set up my lashes when I'm working. I don't like to work off a palette because I find that the palette is just too far away from me when I'm working. I like to have it on my hand so I can have it nice and close to my face. I do it a very specific way, and I find that it is the best way to have your hand set up. If you want to use other things like a palette or a hand palette or something like that, that's totally fine and totally up to you. But I'm just going to show you the way that I do it in case this is maybe something you haven't thought of or haven't tried. So I use double-sided tape, and it can be any brand of tape, but I'm allergic to Scotch tape, so I use just a plain old no-name brand. I apply it to my hand in small pieces, about 2 inches. If you place double-sided tape on your hand the whole length of your hand, when you move it, it's gonna just buckle and come off of your hand and become really annoying. The idea of the double-sided tape is to have it so that your lashes are really stuck on really well. The other reason is because then you have a nice clean surface to put the lashes on, so the person's lashes are never stuck to your skin. Okay, so the other thing to consider is having the tape facing the same direction as your fingers, so that you're not sitting with your wrist kinked trying to fan a lash. If you have it always this way, you'll never have wrist pain in this hand. So always put the tape going in the same direction as your fingers. Now, the other thing about this is I place my lashes on the edge of the tape. So instead of having the lashes kind of in the middle of the tape, and it depends on how thick your tape is, but if you have it in the middle and then you go to flex your hand or you accidentally bump it, see how those lashes are now flattened on the tape. That's not a good thing, because then they're just going to be all flattened and weird when you go to apply them on somebody's eyes. So I like to put it on the back, and you can cut these strips too, so you can have like a couple of different sizes, but just for this video I'm going to just have one strip. Usually I use 4 to 5 at least different sizes on any given client for any set. Now, a lot of people will ask me, is this sanitary, or what do I do with the lashes when I'm done doing the full set? Now, because the lashes have never touched skin or anything like that, you can just peel them off and then place them back in the tray. Or, if you're cutting them and you're just cutting to size of whatever you're going to use, just peel it off your hand and throw the whole thing away. That's another reason why I like to use my hand and disposable products on my hand, because then I can just throw the whole thing away. I don't have to sterilize or sanitize anything in between clients. It's just my hand, wash my hands, place a new piece of tape. Everything's fresh every single time. So now I'm going to show you some fanning techniques. I'm sure you've probably seen these, but I'm going to hopefully be able to explain them in a way that is easy to understand. Sometimes watching fanning videos on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, it's not going to have any audio, so it's not going to have any description of what the person's doing. It's not going to show you tweezer angling. And you have to remember too that when you're watching fanning videos on Instagram, it might be 30 seconds of quickly placing and quickly making and placing the absolute perfect fan. Now you have to consider video editing. A lot of times those videos took 300 takes to get that one perfect fanning motion, lift and place. I can tell you from experience, I've been doing lashes for a very long time, and I've been teaching lashes for a long time, that is not the norm. Yes, can I sometimes make perfect fans in one swoop and then, you know, have all the magical things happen? Yeah, absolutely. That definitely does happen. Would I say it happens every single time? Absolutely not. So don't beat yourself up if when you're building fans, if only say 20% of them are easy and the rest of them you struggle. Eventually, it'll become 60% easy and 40% a struggle, and continue to get better and better and better. So try not to be discouraged when you see these things online and like think, okay, well, I can't do that, so I obviously suck at lashes. It's not the case. Always remember video editing. And the other thing, photo editing. When you're looking at all of these perfect photos on Instagram, remember, photo editing is a thing. Photoshop on lashes is a thing. Same with, you know, even, you know, I've posted pictures of perfect lashes and I don't Photoshop. However, I will post a disclaimer on them and say, you know, this set took me 6 hours. This isn't practical. If you want to make money doing lashes, having every single set be Instagram perfect is not practical. Are they beautiful on every client that walks out my door? Absolutely. However, they are not always going to look like an Instagram model. First of all, my clients are, you know, usually in the over 50 range because they are the ones who can afford me. So they're definitely not Instagram models. Okay, so here is the first fanning technique that I'm going to show you. I just call it my signature fanning technique, or the Luxe signature fanning technique. And you've probably seen it if you've watched my YouTube videos, but I'm going to go in a little bit more depth and show you step by step what each step entails. So I like to build my fans right on the strip. I hold my tweezers with the base of the tweezer in the same angle as the sticky strip, so parallel to the sticky strip. I have my tweezer reclined. You can see it's not sticking straight up like this. I do tilt it back at about a 45-degree angle. I run the back of the tweezer along the back of the strip of lashes, so right on that white piece of tape, just as a guide. And then I use the back part of my tweezer to pull forward anywhere from 4 to 6 lashes for my fan. I find my sweet spot in my tweezer. Now every tweezer is going to have a different sweet spot, so you're going to have to practice this and figure out which spot is perfect for pickup. Once you've got it in that sweet spot, you give it a really good squeeze right by the sticky strip, like as low as you possibly can get, and then you just lift straight up off of the strip. I move it over so that I have room to fan. I'm going to place it pretty much exactly how it would have been sitting if it was still over here, so I've got it all the way down to the bottom of the sticky part of the strip. And then all I do is I pull each piece kind of like I'm teasing hair. You know, it's back in the 80s and we're teasing our hair. Just giving it a little pull. Once you've got it fanned out, then you can pick up. Okay, so let's break that down one more time. I go in with my tweezer behind all the lashes and pick up a chunk. I move it over so I have room to fan. I push the whole thing over to the left or the right, depending if you're left or right-handed. And then I pull each piece out. I don't really like that one, so I'm going to remove it. But now I've got my nice fan, and I'm going to come around it nice and low, still with my tweezer reclined at a 45, and still with it parallel to the strip of lashes, and then lift. There's no peeling motion, no lifting forward or pulling back. It's literally just straight up from the base. Lift, move over. Push to the side. Fan. And lift again. Always keeping in mind your hand angle. You never want to try to fan with it straight up and down like this, or heaven forbid like this. Always at a 45, always with the base of your tweezer parallel to the strip of lashes. If you try to build a fan with it like this, so say it's coming in not parallel to the strip, watch what happens. Okay, so that wasn't even so bad. However, let's try that again. I'm not good at wrecking things on purpose. It's too hard for me. And then let's say you're also picking it up too high and you're coming in at an angle, you're doing all the things wrong. You're going to end up with weirdo fans like that. Sometimes you'll end up with one with the base that's not lined up. I just get rid of those. So push to the left, fan each piece, grip at the base.